In 2017, I'm not buying any clothes. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sewing Report. We help you discover your love of sewing, whether you're new to sewing, whether you've been doing it for a long time. Doesn't matter if that's something you're interested in. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'm Jennifer Moore, your host, and we're going to be talking about sewing goals and New Year's resolutions right now. So I normally don't do New Year's resolutions, but this year I decided to be a little bit different. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've been very impacted by the movement of slow fashion and by learning more and more about the effects of fast fashion on the environment, on economies, and on things going around in the world. So I've made the decision, kind of internally, but I wanted to share this with all of you, that I'm going to be making all of my own clothing in 2017. That is right. I'm not going to be purchasing any clothing this entire year. Now, I'm by no means some sort of expert seamstress. I have no formal training. I do this purely for fun, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my situation. I have a real job. At night I work in television news, so really I do this sort of thing during the day and on the weekends. That's really the only times I get to sew and also make these videos for you. So the reason I've decided to do Sewing Report and make all these videos is because I really love sewing, and I really want all of you to love it too. That's how passionate I am about it. It's done so much for me personally, and I just feel like I want to share that. So I do sacrifice some of my sewing time to create these videos, write articles, do social media, that sort of thing, because I really want more people to sew, especially more young professionals like myself. I think it can do a lot for you if you're in a situation where you're maybe looking for some meaning and looking for a creative outlet outside of your primary job. So let's get to the garment making. I was taking stock of my closet, and I thought I had made about maybe a dozen garments. I started sewing clothes. I kind of transitioned from little things like bags to quilts, and I started transitioning into clothing probably a little over a year ago. So I thought I had about maybe 12 items, but then when I was taking an inventory, I realized I'd actually made 22, and I was shocked. I didn't realize I'd made that many articles of clothing, which was awesome to realize. And in fact, I just made some stuff this weekend. I made my first pairs of leggings, which was exciting. Although if I'm going to be on this journey of making all of my own clothes, I should probably make some stuff that's a little maybe more work wardrobe friendly, or stuff that I can wear out of the house, without people thinking I'm some sort of slob. So let's talk a little bit more about this plan I have. I don't tend to buy a lot of clothes. Usually my typical MO is like a couple times a year I'll see a sale on like Ann Taylor Loft or Banana Republic or J. Crew, and then I'll buy a few things. But I actually I don't go to the mall, I don't go on shopping sprees. I really just a few times a year, my husband James and I will just pick out some articles of clothing. But I'm just not that huge of a shopping consumer in that sense. I do most of my purchases online, or if I'm at Target, I may pick up a couple of t-shirts. So that's pretty much the extent of it. But, I've watched a few documentaries, I've read a lot of articles about fast fashion and the impact it has on this planet, and I just feel more and more compelled to try to make what I can. So since I do have the skill of sewing, I'm going to make a conscious decision in 2017 to, instead of buying anything mass-produced, I'm going to make it myself. Now, you may be thinking, oh, are you doing it to save money? No, I'm definitely not doing it to save money. If you do so, you know that usually making your own things is more expensive. I'm doing this because I love to sew, and because I like, imagine if you could have a custom-made garment in the fabric that you wanted, in the fit you wanted, with all of the little details that you preferred. Wouldn't that be amazing? It's not just something off the rack from the Gap. This is something unique, something that's custom tailored to you, and you're making it yourself. So for having a custom-made garment, I guess I am saving money, but this is definitely not cheaper than, going to the outlet mall and getting stuff. This is going to be very labor-intensive and expensive. There's definitely going to be a learning curve because there are some things that I just don't know how to do yet. I don't know how to drape. You know, there's a lot of different sewing techniques for garments. I have never made my own jeans, although James has. So I'm really going to take this year and learn to make clothing the right way. I mean, I know there's no right and wrong way. You know, sewing is very creative, but I do want to have some more couture finishes, some very professional looking garments so that they don't look homemade. I want clothing that looks very functional, fashionable, and is good quality. So that's really the goal that I have of accomplishing it. I do own quite a few patterns, some ambitious stuff. I have a few coat and jacket patterns that I haven't made, and I have a lot of apparel fabric that I have not used. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in 2017, is making all of my own clothes. I will be completely transparent. I don't know what I'm going to do about garments like underwear and socks. Now, I have a pretty abundant supply of all of those things, and I don't tend to wear a lot of socks. I live in Georgia. It doesn't get super cold, and in the summer times, I usually just end up wearing shoes without socks. So I have a lot of socks already, and I have a lot of underwear. Obviously, I could make my own underwear, so I may attempt to do that. If it works out horribly, that is the only area that I would consider purchasing pre-made items. So we'll see how that goes, and I will be very transparent with you and honest about, you know, how that's going. But I would actually be interested in learning to make my own underwear. I've watched a couple tutorials, and it looks pretty interesting. I don't know about bras. I know other people have made bras, and there's a blogger called Madeline that does, but I'm not really sure if I'm ready for that yet. So we'll see how that goes. And the main sewing machines I'm going to be using for this whole year-long project are going to be the Janome 7700, my Brother Serger that you can see right here, and there's one other machine that I recently acquired, the EverSewn Sparrow 25. I've actually been using this for several months. It was loaned to me by the company because I'd reached out and said, hey, I'd really be interested in featuring this on Sewing Report because I think it's a really cool, you know, it's a great new machine, and it's also really meant for young people. It's sold online, it's easy to get, and I really think it's a great alternative if you love Bernina machines or you want a Bernina machine, but maybe it's out of your budget. I think these machines are very comparable to Berninas I've used at sewing retreats and sewing events. So I really love this machine. This has actually been my primary machine for garment making over the past few months. So you're going to see a lot more of the EverSewn Sparrow 25. And I may add a cover stitch machine to the arsenal. We'll see, but I really want one because I want to be able to hem knits a little more professionally looking. So we'll see if I end up picking that up. If you're already a Sewing Report viewer, you can expect to see a lot more videos about my handmade wardrobe. I will be detailing the process, talking about different patterns, and showing a lot of my makes. So that's definitely coming for this entire year. That's on tap. I'm also going to be producing some videos strictly for beginners on how to use a sewing machine if you've never used one before, because I've gotten a lot of questions about that and a lot of requests to make videos showing how to use a sewing machine. So that's in the works. And I also wanted to share something that I learned about recently. So Sewing Report is one of the sponsors of Upcraft Club's Sewing Hunt. It's a really cool free scavenger hunt that's taking place online, and you can win some cool prizes. There's a sewing machine, a Janome Skyline up for grabs. Sewing Report is donating a $25 Amazon gift card, and you get a shout out in a future Sewing Report video, so you can tell me a message that you want to relay, and I will say that on a video, as long as it's not totally inappropriate. You know, let's keep it clean here. But other than that, you know, the sky's the limit for you. If you want a message for someone, or if you just want me to say hi to you, we can do that. And if you sign up for the Sewing Hunt, Upcraft Club is coming out with something super cool for sewing. Now, I mostly use paper patterns because I don't have a lot of time, so the idea of like printing out a bunch of pieces of paper and taping it together really doesn't appeal to me. It takes me forever. I just don't like doing it for anything larger than like a handbag pattern. But Upcraft Club has this new thing they're coming out with. It's called Kite, and it is this whole like projector high-tech system where you will project your pattern in your size directly onto the fabric. So it really eliminates paper altogether. You can either mark it or you can just cut it out directly and make the marks that you need, like notches and stuff like that. So if you sign up for the sewing hunt, you're going to be getting the latest details about the kite system, and if you're interested in it, there will be details hopefully on how you can get a hold of one and how to purchase one. So I'm hoping to get my hands on one to review it here in Sewing Report, because I think it's going to be a total game changer for the sewing industry. We've been using paper patterns forever. So this is really going to make things easier for people like me who don't have a ton of time and just want to get straight to the sewing and cutting out the fabric part. So I'm really excited to learn more about this, but I've been emailing with the founder of Upcraft Club. She's really excited about this, and I'm actually pretty psyched just to see what this thing is. I love tech stuff, and I love anything that makes your life easier. So I'm hoping to get one to review for Sewing Report. So we will definitely be getting into that in 2017. So that's all. I just wanted to share some of this with you and talk about my sewing goals, because I know I haven't really done that, but I am not going to be purchasing any mass-produced clothing for this entire year. This could last longer than just this year. We'll see how it goes, but I really want to become a better seamstress and a better sewist. So that's kind of the big motivator behind this, and also that I don't know, the more I find out about fast fashion, the less I like it. So I feel personally convicted to do this and passionate. So that is the project for this year. Now I know that's not realistic for everybody, and I have most of my friends and family don't sew. I don't judge anybody if you don't sew your own stuff. I don't think everybody can do this or should do this, but this is something that I'm personally doing, and I want to share my journey with you this year on Sewing Report. So I will see you next time in a later video, and feel free to leave me a comment or just reach out directly. So I will see you next time.